Hi everyone, it's Liz, and today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite recipes for chicken fried rice. So to start out, you're going to use minute white rice, or you can use basmati rice, and I'm using 1 cup of water. You want to use equal parts water and rice, so if you're feeding a larger family, make sure to add more water. I'm going to set that at high, and I'm going to bring that to a boil. I'm going to go ahead and fill up the same measuring cup with 1 cup of rice. And like I said, if you are feeding a larger family, you may want to double this recipe. Once the water has come to a boil, I'm going to go ahead and add my rice in. Make sure to get everything out of that measuring cup into the pot. And you want to cook this at least 30 minutes before you do the rest of your recipe. Just because you want to have your rice to be room temperature or cold before you add it in with the rest of the ingredients. And I'm just going to stir that up and then place a lid on it to let it steam. You're going to turn the heat down to medium. Once it's done, you're going to go ahead and take it out, put it in a bowl to let it cool, and then you are just going to set that bowl to the side so that way you can start your next step, which is to dice up some chicken breasts. So I have 2 thin sliced chicken breasts. If you don't have thin sliced, you can use a regular chicken breast, but you do want to make sure that you beat it thin, so either with a mallet or a rolling pin. And then I'm just dicing that up. I like to cut it into long strips and then go back behind myself and cut them into halves, just because that way it cooks a lot quicker and you don't have to worry about your veggies burning while your chicken is cooking. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray a large nonstick skillet with some cooking spray, and I'm going to add in 1 egg. I do have this on medium-high heat, and then I'm just going to gently whisk the egg in the pan. You don't want to whisk it too much. You do want to have a mixture of whites and the yolk. And then I'm just going in and I'm cooking that up. It shouldn't take too long to cook, maybe a minute or 2 on a medium-high heat. And then once it's done, I'm going to go in and I'm going to put it in the bowl with the rice, because we will be adding it at the exact same time as the rice, so there's no need to dirty up a different bowl. Then I'm going to go in with some baby carrots. I didn't have any regular sized carrots, so I had to make do with what I had. You can use regular carrots, you can use baby carrots, or even if you have frozen vegetables, so maybe frozen peas and carrots together, you could use that as well. But I'm just dicing those up into little rounds. And I think I diced up maybe 4 or 5 baby carrots. I didn't add too many just because it is just my husband and I. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of olive oil into my skillet again, stir that around on a medium heat, and then add in the carrots. Then using some diced yellow onion. This is just the pre-diced kind. Again, this is an easy and quick recipe. If you do want to dice your own onion, that's fine, but I'm just going to add that into the skillet, and I'm going to let that simmer down. You want to cook it until the onions are translucent and the carrots are pretty soft, so about 3 to 4 minutes. Then going in, I'm adding in a half a tablespoon of minced garlic, and I'm just sauteing that again on a medium-high heat. And then I'm just going to go ahead and take the chicken and put that into the pan and let that saute as well. And the chicken will take longer to cook. It'll take about 10 minutes or so in these small dices, so don't worry if this step takes a little bit of time. So while the chicken is cooking, you want to go ahead and make your sauce. I'm using about 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. This is regular soy sauce, but you can use sodium-free if you want. Then I'm using some ground ginger. I put in about a tablespoon at first, but if you notice, I decided later on that it was not enough for me. So I am just whisking that together, and then whisk, whisk, whisk. And then, yeah, I'm adding a little bit more ground ginger in. I think I ended up with about a tablespoon and a half of ground ginger in total. And again, I'm going back to make sure that chicken does not stick to the bottom, and then whisking that sauce all together. You really want to make sure you pay attention to the chicken, even though you are making the sauce. just because it will stick to the bottom of the pan and you don't want that. So to sweeten up the sauce a little bit, I'm adding in about a teaspoon of honey, and then I'm going to whisk that together as well. And then once again, I taste it, decide that's not enough, and then add in about another half a teaspoon or so. The whole point of this is to really taste it along the way to make sure that you're getting the flavor that you want. Some people like more sweeter fried rice, some people like more soy sauce based fried rice. So it's all about your preferences. Then once you have figured out the right flavoring, you want to go ahead and add the sauce into the skillet, and you want to stir this around to coat it, and then add in the fried rice and the egg. You really want to make sure everything is incorporated well and that all the fried rice is coated in the seasoning. Since we didn't add salt to the boiling water, the fried rice, or the original white rice, is not going to have much flavor. Then to add in some more veggies, I'm going in with some steamed broccoli. I'm using the kind that you microwave in the bag just because it's a simple recipe, like I said. And then I'm just taking some ground black pepper and seasoning it to taste. I like pepper, so I added quite a bit, but if you don't like it, you can always leave this out. And then you just want to stir it all around to make sure everything is coated and that your broccoli has time to heat up. If you did steam it already, that's fine, but make sure it's soft enough for you and has a lot of the rice flavor on it. And then you're just going to head and plate it on a plate. I'll take about half the skillet. And that is the completed dish. I hope you enjoyed.